What's going on, everybody? My name's Tanner, and this is episode 1 of What the Hell Do I Do? And I'm going to start it off with a little story. So this happened to me the other day. I was having a rough day, it was just one of those days. And I was spiraling. I was overthinking, overworked, underslept, and for whatever reason, I thought, Chick-fil-A will fix this. So I'm pulling in the drive-thru and I'm spatially unaware because of where my mind's at, and boom! I sideswipe one of those short yellow concrete poles right into the back quarter panel of my truck. And nothing says pull it together like smacking your rig into a traffic cone on steroids. But I push forward. I get my order, I pull into my parking spot, I open the bag, and that smell of fresh fried Chick-fil-A fills the cab, and I take a bite, and then I feel it, the subtle little pressure in the gut, a fart, just a fart. I trusted it. Big mistake. Now here's some context. I live in Florida, it's summertime, and I've been living off of fruit like a sunburned squirrel. Mangoes, watermelon, berries, peaches, nature's candy. But with all that fruit comes fiber. My gut's basically a ticking time bomb of healthy digestion. And when that fart started bubbling up, it sure shit betrayed me. In the coup de grace, I'm now sitting in my truck, mentally wrecked, Chick-fil-A in my hand, and I just sharted. But there's a twist. I got a change of clothes in my truck, a full set, and wipes. And I cleaned up, I changed, and honestly, I felt better. Kind of like when you cry hard, and then everything after just seems a little bit lighter. So what the hell do I do? Well, just like that weld, sometimes the gap is your own damn fault. I rushed the part, I didn't double check my computer model, didn't account for the post-bend stretch, and now I'm sitting there, staring at an open box corner with a canyon between tabs. But instead of scrapping it, I slowed down, I layered it, I filled the gap right, and by the time it's ground smooth, you'd never know it was off. Same thing with the day, same thing with the fart, and same thing with the mess. Moral of the story, don't be too quick to trust a fart. But don't be so reluctant to face them either. Sometimes they expose the crack you made and give you a chance to fix it better than before. Now, that was a rare day, alright? That doesn't happen all the time, and I sure as hell hope it doesn't keep happening to me. But it happened, and I made it into a lesson. Now, let's get back to the part we're making here. So, I'm on a mission to basically create 90% of the furniture pieces in my house. The main reason being as I've shopped around and looked at some of the furniture out there, it's just kind of shit quality, The welds are just tacked, the metal is as thin as a Pringle, and the wood is MDF with a little Formica sheet over it or some cheap veneer. And it's kind of sad. And I also can't afford to buy designer furniture. It's just extremely expensive. So I decide, I'm just gonna make it. That being said, I always have to choose a color. Now, a couple months ago, I was in New York City. I see a couple big giant art pieces, and lo and behold, what color are they? Fire truck red. One of my favorite colors. It just stands out, and red is the color of love, passion, seductiveness, and for all you fast food lovers, including myself, hunger. Now, this piece doesn't make me hungry when I look at it. It just makes me inspired and kind of sparks some level of creativity. And it also just looks good when you walk by. You can't walk by it and not just rub your fingers across it. It's fire truck red. It's just a stunning color. So as I paint these and go layer after layer, I realized I should have had a breathing mask on. I should have had some type of mask on, and I'm suffering through the paint going through my mind, telling myself, yeah, you should have got a mask, you idiot. Well, now it's all painted, now it's all dried, and I'm gonna add it to this beautiful piece of walnut that I made. Now, I didn't show the process of me planing, sanding, and filling a couple holes with epoxy, but just pretend, all right? And what we're doing here is we're giving it a little bit of a sexy way of attachment. Now, I could have just screwed it in, but all the little details matter, like these little brass inserts are super important, and they give the piece a finished quality you expect in a really nice furniture part. So I didn't buy the tool. I thought I'd figure it out on my own, and as you're seeing here, I had to kind of jerry-rig this little screw by welding a little tab to it, and sometimes it gets stuck like you see here. I gotta back it in, back it out, and hopefully it sticks. Hopefully it doesn't stick to the screw, and once it's all in, it looks pretty fantastic. The best part of proper alignment is when you can put your thread in, you can put your screw in, and not have to worry about it binding up, not having to take that part back and re-drill it. And the last and final part, don't scratch your floors, people. Give them some type of protection. These are just cheap little felt tabs with the self-adhesive on it. You can just stick onto your furniture piece and slide it across the ground, no worries. No one likes coming into someone's house with scratches all over the floor. And there she is, she's solid as a rock. Last and final part, you just built this extremely heavy furniture piece out of relatively heavy gauge metal and a big giant 8-foot piece of solid walnut, getting her onto the floor. And the worst part, what you're about to see here in 1 second, is when you get it on the floor, you give it a quick feel, and she's wobbly. Of course she is. It's all right. Put an extra foot pad on the bottom and no one will be the wiser. Thank you guys. This has been episode 1 of What the Hell Do I Do?